beautiful people. My name is Kira, aka Words by Kira, and in this video I'm going to be talking about self-discovery and the many ways I've gone about doing that. I'm going to be discussing journaling, trying new things, and this really fun personality anagram test that I took. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Alright y'all, so I took this personality anagram test, and it's so interesting because I love personality quizzes. I'm forever trying to know more about myself and go deeper into why I do the things I do or think the way I do. And I took a Truity personality anagram test, and it's so interesting because I've taken these tests before in the past and I always got type 2, which is like caring, and you love to be of service to others and help people, and it makes you feel so good to be connected, and you're very empathetic. And this time I got a high level for number 2, but my biggest personality indicator this time was actually personality type 3. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that type, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box. I actually bought the personality test to get more information. It costs $19 from Truity.com, but you absolutely do not have to spend that money if you don't want to. There are different tests that are for free that I'm going to leave in the description box for you to access if you're interested. So I'm just going to be reading a little bit about some of the highlights of my results from the test. Okay. So they break it down into body type, head types, and heart types. That's how they break it down for this quiz. All right, I'm just looking to the side on my laptop in case y'all are wondering. Okay, so for body type, that was the first level that they described for me. I'll just do my top 2. My first one was number 9. This was a 75% match for me. 9s are defined by a desire to live in peaceful harmony with their environment. They want a sense of balance and calm and aspire to be a kind of homeostasis where nothing disturbs their inner peace. That absolutely sounds like me. I'm forever like just trying to be joyful. I really resonate with the more positive side of my personality. I should say it like that because what does that even really mean, right? But happiness, joy, peace, that's my jam. And oh, this is also me. It says they tend to be easygoing and accepting of what is happening around them, but can become resistant and willfully oblivious when something in the environment threatens to throw them off balance. Woo, that is no lie. Anyone who knows me, when I see conflict on the horizon or someone's upset, my gut reaction in the moment is very much like, I'm scared, I don't know what to do. Sorry y'all, it's nature out here, but isn't it beautiful? If you hear the noise in the back. But as I was saying, my natural inclination when I see conflict or pain or drama, I'm very nervous, and I've been recently pushing myself to not be so scared. These are human emotions, and it's all about trying to get to the root of it and be as solution-based as you can with the power that you have. All right, so then my other top match for body type is a 1, which is defined by the belief that everything must be in order and by their feeling that they must always be right. Ooh, must always be right. Okay, that could be a problem, a major problem. They show great commitment and determination to improve conditions that they find need improvement, and they are forward and encouraging others to improve their performance too. That is very much like me. And next up is head types. Head types are driven by intellect and tend to analyze and rationalize their emotions. So my highest one was a 7. This was a 95% match, so I didn't even bother to copy the other part. 7s are defined by their desire to experience everything good and pleasurable that the world has to offer while avoiding pain, boredom, and limitations. Although 7s appear enthusiastic and fun-loving, deep down they have a fear of getting stuck in negative emotions. Child. Ooh, these birds are out here. That is so me. I recently was talking to my friends that I get really afraid of getting stuck in negative emotions. I have such a fear of feeling sad for an extended period of time, and it truly scares me, so that's real. All right, lastly for this section is heart types. Heart types are driven by their emotions and their desire to connect with other people. Heart types are driven by a strong sense of empathy and their sense of what people are experiencing. I got a number 2 and a number 3. I resonated the most with number 3, as I said before, which was a shock to me because my personality is changing. I'm evolving. I'm not mostly a 2 anymore, according to this test. So I'll read 2 just so you guys get an idea if all this information is new to you. So 2s want to be liked and find ways that they can be of service to others so that they can belong. They have a strong need to be affiliated with others and pursue acceptance by being kind, caring, and helpful. They are highly altruistic and empathetic and often have an intuitive sense of what other people need and want. They sometimes give too much of themselves because they are so eager to be connected with others. Ooh, Lord, that is at like the core of me, right? I think I talked in previous videos, but if you're new to the channel, I definitely have experienced so much people-pleasing tendencies. I'm afraid to speak my mind because someone will be mad at me and then reject me, and wow, that really explained it so concisely. And so then my other heart type, which was my highest match for this, is a 3. 3s are defined by their desire to achieve. They want to advance in the world and will sacrifice almost anything for success. Okay, I'm not sacrificing almost anything, but woo. Okay. Vigorously pursuing tasks and becoming utterly absorbed in the pursuit of attainment, but they will only choose a task in the first place if it promises rewards and brings prestige. Very interesting. Okay, so enough of just like the good stuff, right? Let's get a little deeper. Core weakness. Because it's not always peaches and cream. It's not always good. And that's what helps us grow, right? So, okay, core weakness for 3. Deceit. Ooh. Believing that they are only as good as the image they present to the world. 3s are prone to vanity and deception, although they strive for and often attain great success in the world, avoiding true connection and depth in their relationships with themselves and with others. Yikes, I want authenticity in my relationship, so that's something I should be aware of if I exhibit that quality sometimes. Core belief, in order to be worthy, I must succeed or at least be perceived as successful. That is a dangerous core belief. And core fear, being exposed as worthless, incompetent, or failure, to be a nobody. Wow, I can remember I watched this movie called A Bronx Tale, and I love that movie. It's about this young boy. He's living in New York, and his father's like a very responsible, hardworking man played by Robert De Niro. And he grows up and he sees these guys who are living in the fast lane, like doing illegal things, but they have a lot of respect in their community regardless, and people are afraid of them. And the boy grows up idolizing those guys who are tough and, you know, doing illegal stuff and whatever they want. And there's this big quote in it where it says, "The saddest thing of all is wasted talent." I believe that is the quote, or something along those lines. The saddest thing of all is wasted talent. And I can remember being young, watching it, like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to waste my talent. That sounds horrible. So that line about, you know, being afraid to be incompetent or failure, that definitely resonates with me. I guess I'm a 3, y'all. I'm a 3 now. All right. So, this is my top 3 personality blind spots. I'm being like really open with you guys. It says superiority. Oh my gosh. I try to be humble. All right, superiority. Although you may not freely admit it, the truth is you believe that you are a bit better than other people. Dang. Or that you should aspire to be. Although you may find that you produce excellent results simply because you expect more from yourself, your belief that you are superior creates a lot of pressure on you and can sometimes make you come off as arrogant. Ooh, all right, I don't want to be arrogant. Confident, but not arrogant, you know? All right, rigidity. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. When you're rigid. Ooh, I could see myself being like this. You're a creature of habit who's probably fond of the expression, "don't reinvent the wheel." Yes, you rarely see a reason to try a new method or process, and you're suspicious of people who want to change things up. On the positive side, this trait means that you rarely waste time pursuing an untested approach. Um, however, However, you can also be overly resistant to change and ignore opportunities for growth and development. I want to grow and develop. Okay. To avoid becoming stagnant, you'll need to work on your openness to change. Take time to consider new ideas and explore the potential benefits of new approaches. That's excellent advice for me because I can totally get caught in just doing what I'm used to. And that's why I've really been trying to step outside of my comfort zone and try new things. It's been good. I mean, wow, look, my personality is shifting to a certain degree. That's really interesting. All right, and the last blind spot that this test says I have is present focus. It says I'm grounded. I'm a grounded sort of person, tuned into what's happening now. I don't spend much time thinking about the future or imagining what might come next. Without a vision for the future, your path through life can be haphazard, and you may make decisions based on circumstance rather than a cohesive plan for what you want. Although nobody can predict the future, that doesn't make thinking ahead a waste of time. I can relate to that. I feel as though I'm very present in the moment and I do work towards achieving certain things, but I don't have the most clear cut vision of my future. So that is great advice for me to work on. All right, so those are my results, the highlights from this Enneagram test. If you're interested, like I said, the link is in the description box. All right, so now I'm going to talk about other ways that I've been doing self-discovery. Journaling. I'm huge on journaling. I know it's not for everyone, but it really has helped me. And recently I journaled with my friends. Hey Corinne, hey Laquita. The women that I the women that I do my circle with every day, and we have been doing all sorts of journal topics, and recently we did one with the prompt, who do I think I am today? And I know maybe when you first hear it, you're like, who do I think I am? I wasn't saying it with attitude. It was more so just, how do you see the person that you are today in this present moment? Like if someone were to ask you, oh, describe yourself, and not just your physical or titles you have. I mean, include that as well if you feel as though they are huge parts of your inner essence and how you identify yourself. But try to go a little deeper, right? Think about things that are just naturally true for you no matter the scenarios that or the environments that you're in. Things that are just innately you. And it takes time to practice. So what I did, I decided to think about, what values do I have? What do I really care about? What do I spend my time on? And I realized that relationships are incredibly important to me. Connecting with others, it just feels so good, and I learn more about them, and in turn I learn more about myself because they're seeing me through different eyes, a different lens, and even just speaking out loud to them, I'm able to decipher my own thoughts and get to a lot of roots of why I am the way I am. So I definitely value my relationships. I would also say that I really value education, and not even necessarily in the traditional sense. I value reading a great book by an expert that you admire, or watching a documentary, or taking a traditional class or an online class in areas that you're interested in, or being self-taught and just trying things out on your own and building something or something along those lines. So education. And so those are just a few examples of some of my values that I journaled when I asked myself, who do I think I am today? And the reason why I also put today is because I think sometimes we can get so caught up in thinking about the past, how we used to be, or thinking about the future of how we want to be. And I think this exercise for self-discovery in the here and now is excellent to just put that emphasis on today. All right, so the next way that I've been on this self-discovery journey is seeking out new experiences. I have done quite a bit of different experiences lately, things that I've been interested in, but I was too afraid, or things that people just presented to me, and in the past I would have been like, oh no, I'm not doing that. But something shifted and I decided to be more open. So, for example, I climbed the highest mountain in Ghana with my friends in 2019, Mount Afadjato. I'm going to insert a picture of it. Y'all, it was almost 3,000 feet in the air. And I have slight heights issues. I have slight height fear, not in all capacities, but it definitely comes out. When we got to the top of the mountain, I was so proud of myself, also exhausted. At that point, I wasn't working out, so I was I was drenched in sweat. It was crazy. But my girls, they pushed me through. Shout out to all my girls on the trip: Abina, Awusi, Ali, Erica. I love y'all. One of the most amazing experiences of my life. But anyway, when I got to the top, it was so beautiful. I was so proud of myself, but I could barely even look around, y'all, because I was so afraid of the heights. But it didn't matter because I did it. It was something that I would have probably been too afraid to do before, but I did it. Another thing, indoor skydiving. I don't know, I've been really trying to tackle this whole height fear more and more. I went indoor skydiving with my nephew, and I'll insert a little video as well. It was weird in that one, maybe because I'd already done the mountain, and this one seemed very safe. I wasn't flying out of a plane in the air. But this one, I felt a tiny bit nervous, but once I got there and I saw other people doing it, it looked so much fun, and I absolutely loved it. I would suggest anyone who's interested in trying, do it at IFLY in North Jersey. And I have to go back. After things are more safe, with the pandemic, I pray that you all are safe out there, your friends and your family are well. After this calms down, I'm going back, y'all. I have to fly again. All right, so those are more the physical ways that I've been combating my fear, or just trying new things that I was afraid of in the past, I should say. And another way, I always had a dream of doing spoken word. And it really started when I started seeing poets perform live. I thought it was so beautiful and amazing. And I had this secret wish to maybe do it one day, because I have written poetry in the past. And anyone who hasn't seen, check out my poem if you're interested. A Poem for My People, that's the name of my video. And it's just a very fast poem dedicated to the amazing Black people all around the world and how much I love them. So I wrote this poem, and then one of my friends, she was organizing a protest in our community, and she asked me if I would want to perform my poem there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have it fully memorized yet. I've never done it before. And she was like, who cares? Just read your poem. I want you to read your poem. And I actually did it. And, especially at this time, where we are continuously trying to find solutions against systematic racism, and we are really fighting for human rights, all human rights. Performing that poem at that protest, I just felt so honored and blessed that I was able to participate and hopefully share my words that resonated with someone, even just one person. And I would have never done that in the past, y'all. I would have never, if somebody would have told me, you're going to do spoken word at a protest, or you're going to do spoken word period in front of people who aren't maybe my little best friends or something, I would not have believed them. But look at me today. I'm just putting myself out there and trying different things, and not so paralyzed in the fear of making a mistake. That takes growth, All right, y'all. So just to sum it up, I say journaling, trying new things, asking yourself those really deep questions like, who are you? What are your values? What are your interests and passions? Trying new things, taking a fun personality test. I think these are all ways that you can learn more about yourself and discover yourself more. Also, educating yourself on different topics that maybe you never thought about before, or things you've always wanted to know more about. It can unlock a whole new side of your personality that you didn't even know was there. And that's the power of going inward and taking the time to just know yourself better and giving yourself that care and that time to do so. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. All right, bye y'all.